Yeah, I think that was almost inevitable, Gab, but it gives me a good chance to welcome a rookie classic participant. And I would think that Gerard Whateley has been to some pretty cool sporting events, including that big one they have in September normally and stuff like that, but this is kind of different and cool. Wonderful to have you here at the Classic, your first ever trip to sprint cars, Gerard. What are your impressions?
I love it, Wade. It's the adrenaline junkies in our family and my wife and my 10-year-old, and they're in one of the push cars over there, so they're having a great time. I've been to Formula One Grand Prix and to supercar races. It's my first night at Speedway. I'm thrilled to be here. I love Warrnambool. I've long been a spectator at the Jumps Carnival, so horsepower for me has always been 4 legs, so this is a new experience.
So from what I learned from this is you should never walk past Tim Hodges' laptop when it's open, because the story I was getting is that he was working through the proposals. You went, "What are you doing, Hodgie? What's in there?"
Yeah, and then there was just a chronic case of FOMO. I thought, this looks so cool. It was a great proposal. The car looked awesome, but above all, is in sports, I love a passion project. Someone who's seen something from a long way out, and this is Tim's favourite race from when he was a kid, and he would sit up on the hill with all the patrons here, and it was his dream to one day come and run a car. So he and I have worked together for more than 20 years, and I thought, no, I've got to be part of that. And knowing that Scott McLaughlin and Jack Revolt were already in, I'm the representative here. Scott's doing his own 24-hour race, and Jack's tied up with Richmond, so I'm representing the ownership group.
So your football allegiance is with who? Am I allowed to ask you this?
Yeah, no, I'm a Geelong fan. The whole family is. So they all got tickets in the ballot, and we're there at the grand final, which is a great thrill. And yeah, so as a kid, I sat through a lot of losing grand finals, and then had the honour of calling in 07, 09 and 11 when they won their 3 flags. And by the end of last season, they were so good. They were clearly the best side in it. I know people think it was a dull grand final. It was just perfect as far as I was concerned.
Cast your mind back, because I love doing this. 1992 and 1994. Peter Riccardi is probably still getting counselling because Matera towed him up. 2 West Coast Eagles flag. Anyway, let's not go there. Just quickly. Mate, Rewalt, what an amazing addition to a motorsport collaboration. You're the only odd one out because you're kind of like the motorsport guy, but Jack seems like a pretty upbeat kind of, let's have a go at that kind of guy.
Yeah, so he's Jack the lad. I reckon he's got a share in the horse that's the favourite for the Melbourne Cup. He's got a share in the car that's trying to win the 50th edition of the Warrnambool Grand Annual. So, yeah, he loves to be around the sporting action. He's very much the magnetic centre, I reckon, of Richmond's premiership years. He's a lovely fella, and yeah, if there's a good time to be had, Jack's usually right at the centre of it.
You love a big sporting event, and when you look around this place, I mean, take away the umbrellas if you could, take them out of the picture, but this has a real, it's almost like a Colosseum effect, like the Lions are going to come out and literally battle here, and that's what we love about this sport. You get across all of it.
Yeah, it looks so good. We drove in at 3 o'clock this afternoon, and when it arrives on the horizon, there were still so many people there who had their tents set up and their barbecues set up and getting ready for it. I recognise that anywhere in the world, whether it's a football game or a car race. And then tomorrow night, when you've got the ambitions and the excellence that come together in the quest to win something that is so meaningful, is time-honoured and is prestigious and then has riches attached to it. All the drivers, all the cars, all the teams here tomorrow night, I recognise that from anywhere I've been around the world. I can't wait to be here for it. I hope we're in contention with James McFadden. And yeah, I've never owned a successful racehorse. I've dabbled here and there. I'd love to own a successful race car come tomorrow night.
You got 900 in this package, so that's not a bad thing. I'm really thrilled to have you here, and I'm really thrilled what Tim has done for our sport, because you're used to it. You know, the SEN stuff, the Melbourne newspapers have been loaded to the gunnels. Can't wait for us to be on AFL 360 somehow next year with James. But you've brought our sport up into a world that's has been aware of us but hasn't known much. So can I say thank you, Gerard, for what you and this group are doing for the profile of our sport?
I think we're thrilled to be able to play a small role in building the profile. Like, James McFadden should be better known in Australia than he is, because he's certainly well known in the States for what he's achieving there, and his life at the moment without a permanent home as he's chasing his dreams, and he's doing such a great job, and he's got a great heritage here in Warrnambool, clearly, such great affection everywhere you go. There's memorabilia from his previous wins, or the caps and the T-shirts and the loyalties towards him. So these are stories that should be better known in Australian sport. Sometimes we get really myopic with our footy codes, this is a great time of year to be able to share broader stories. And if we're able to do a small part in amplifying those stories and those voices, then that's been, for that alone, it's been such a worthwhile experience.
I am so prepared to overlook your affinity with Geelong over that. Thank you so much, Gerard, for what you're doing, and it's great to have you here. Thanks for bringing the great Geelong weather, by the way.
Yeah, so I've spent the summer avoiding rain at the cricket. I didn't realise we'd stop for rain here tonight, so fingers crossed that it clears. But thank you. Thanks for having me. I love coming to somewhere and learning the rhythms and the rituals of a community event. And this is every bit of that. Sell out tonight and again tomorrow night. So, yeah, we're thrilled to be here. And, yeah, hopefully tonight goes well. And I can't wait to be here tomorrow.
Great to have you here, mate.
Cheers, Wade.
Thank you very much. Gerard Whateley. Wow, Hodgie. How good is that guy? I know he makes his living from hosting TV shows, but wow. He said it all. We're going to put him back in a push car and get him out of the rain. God, Gav, I don't know if you caught much of that, but man, that guy is switched on.